And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to In the Nest, the Emmaus Athletic Sports Podcast. I'm your co-host Shane Douglas here with Matthew Tomlinson. You know, next time I'm gonna wait for that beat drop to like really wait. Play. Can you play the beat again? Are you able to play the beat again? Will? Okay. Yeah. Two Shanes on the mic.
Two Shanes.
Here with Matty Ice.
Yeah.
And wait. And then here's the beat drop right there. Right. Okay.
In the Nest.
In the Nest. The Emmaus Athletic Sports Podcast. We'll work on that. We'll get there, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Will, for doing that for us again.
One day.
We'll try to maybe we'll come in a little early, start freestyling. I'm not a rapper. I can't do it. Michael Heaton, shout out to Michael Heaton if he ever listens. He was a student with myself for 4 years, you for a couple, maybe two
or three.
That man could freestyle. I remember multiple nights him like just sitting in my room, always bugging me, but me loving it. And
Shane,
we just put on a beat. And he just start.
I remember he would go
it was awesome.
Table to table during lunch and dinner, freestyling people, and it was the funniest thing.
Oh, it was great. He would sit with the professors too. It's like I have so many pictures of like literally all the Bible faculty sitting at a long table, and then Michael Heaton in the middle of it.
Trying to freestyle like Dr. McLeod or Dr. Fish. Mr. Glock. He
is an awesome person to have on campus to be friends with. So I love Michael. Shout out Michael. Great, massive impact too to the athletic community here too.
He's manager for men's basketball for a semester. So.
Yeah, and he honestly he probably one of the biggest fans of Emmaus Eagles.
Not probably,
athletics.
Definitely.
I would say so. Yeah. Really, that's coming from you.
Yeah.
So Matt is like the largest fan I know. And
it's true.
Him saying that Michael is a bigger fan than him.
There. No, he's up there.
There. Okay.
He's up there.
We should have a ranking.
We could do that.
If you think you are like one of the, here's the thing. I mean, this doesn't help. I mean, we always say, hey, yeah, guys, you should buy some drinks at Coffee Bean. Matt, have you gotten a drink bought for you at the Coffee Bean?
We had a few comments on the Team Pumpkin versus Team Pecan, but
a little okay, yeah. But then we haven't got any names
since that last episode
for our little guy here, or for this guy. I'm telling you, if we don't get a name for this guy, guys, it's gonna be Eddie. It's gonna be Eddie.
Please no.
I don't want it to be Eddie.
Please can't be.
With that said, when we say we want your input, we want your input. We want you guys coming up to us in the lunchroom, dining halls, hallways, family, alum, message us. Most of you probably know us, so know people who know us.
Rand, you better text me in 20 minutes after this episode drops.
Yeah, there we go. I was thinking of like when we're recording. I'm like, it won't be dropped in 20 minutes. Oh, yeah. But yeah, man, gosh, come on, people. The hood is coming down. All right. You know what?
No hoodie, Eagle. Just
no hoodie?
No, keep the hoodie on.
Okay.
But no hood, I should say.
I have another Eagle, and I put like a Korean dress on.
Oh, the bigger Eagle, the one?
Yeah, my other one. So maybe I'll just bring all my little stuffed animals that I've collected from other schools.
Welcome to Shane's Stuffed Animals Show.
Yeah, and then I can talk about the Valley. The Valley analogy is a beautiful thing. If you don't know what the Valley analogy is, please talk to me. It's a dating analogy of it's great. All the guys love it. It goes both ways, but it's really awesome.
It is.
I love it. Do you remember it? Maybe, I don't know. I'll have to warm you up to it. Will, you definitely don't know it, but I will. Tri-State, if you're listening, come ask me about the Valley. I will let you know about that. Man. Okay, so let's get started. We got a shorter podcast with Shane, sadly. But what it's going to look like today is we're going to recap a couple basketball games that have
three of them
that we had over the last week, and then a interview with the women's head coach women's basketball head coach Sharon Tomlinson, your sister.
Yeah.
So Matt's gonna have the privilege to interview his own sister, which is gonna be great.
Should be fun.
Really, he purposely didn't share her the doc with questions just so he can
grill.
Yeah, really get some
sibling love right there. No, I'm just kidding.
Get some spicy takes.
There were no documents with questions.
Yeah, I guess so.
At least not yet.
Yeah, so those are kind of the two biggest things on our docket today of this episode. So stay informed, stay here to listen to that interview with Sharon later in this episode after we kind of recap the sports. Also, just to mention, hopefully you can see it more clear. than last time, but we have this board still. It's going strong, ladies and gentlemen. It's going strong until there is more news. We're gonna try to not speak about it. So we did go on a long run. I think every episode,
9 episodes in a row. Or
man,
something.
I can't believe it. Wow, we're better than the NFL right now, though.
Yeah, right.
NFL
They're
can't
just trying to get anything out of it.
I can't. Will, what you eating over there?
I'm pregame sandwich.
See, okay, so this is actually people meme me about this at school, but this is a peanut butter.
I can hear the crinkle.
This is a peanut butter and chocolate chip sandwich.
Okay.
I respect it.
That doesn't sound bad.
It's delicious.
It's better than your lavender Crocs.
Bro.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Or your bad takes on headbands. But anyway.
You took that personal.
I did take that personal.
Sorry for just throwing you back out there, Will, but you know, you just were snacking over there. It's a thick boy too.
Yeah, there's a big
That's a lot of peanut butter. Oh my goodness.
Use a whole jar.
You guys should see this. Here, hand it to me.
Bulking season.
They need to see this. Is bulking season? Are you able to hand this to me? Look at this. Look how thick this boy is.
That's a thick sandwich.
I didn't get any chocolate.
Is it good?
Here. It's all right.
You didn't get any chocolate chips?
No, I didn't get any chocolate chips. So
what's the point?
So you got a peanut butter sandwich.
It's got peanut butter bread.
Nice.
But not bad. I'm sure.
I've heard that was one of the greatest public school snacks ever was peanut butter bread at lunch at schools.
I didn't really go through that. It was for me. It was always like cheesy bread on Fridays. I mean, that's not like what I liked. It was just garlic cheese bread. That's what. I'm sorry, you can't have it.
I wouldn't know what that's like.
You don't know.
I was homeschooled. No idea what you're talking about.
That's not. That's not why. That's not why, Matt. You can't have cheese.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, everyone loved the garlic cheesy bread on Fridays for my high school, Des Moines East. With that said, sorry for taking a bite of your sandwich. Will, I wanted to take a smaller bite. I had to. But I didn't get any chocolate chip. But I'm sure it was good. So Tri-State, please back off of Will. Matt and I, we acknowledge and we commend it.
Yes.
So, all right. So moving on, let's talk about some sports.
Yep.
Matthew,
we have 3 games to cover. 2 for the guys, 1 for the ladies.
Yep.
Not the greatest week as far as record wise. We lost all 3 games. Sorry, I laughed. It's just the way you put it, man. It's right? Like not the greatest record. It's obviously. Yeah.
Obviously.
So Saturday we both the men's and women's teams played Kuiper College. Both are actually receiving votes for the top 10. So both currently I think the women are number 1 in the region right now, and guys
Kuiper's
are number
athletic,
2.
man.
Yeah, they're very good. So guys game, we played bad. We had a bad game. Mm-hmm. We did, and we ended up losing 85-50. It was crazy because they were down 10 at halftime, and then we brought it to a 4-point game like a minute into the second half.
Yeah.
And then they just went on like a 20-0 run and couldn't do anything about it after that. So, I mean, it's there. We're there. We should not have given up. Like a lot of stuff is fixable, but we should not have given up what we did. Mm-hmm. But like you said, Kuiper, man, they're right. They are an athletic, deep team.
Yeah.
And they're going to be good for years to come.
Yeah.
So we got our work cut out for them, but we'll get them back. We'll play them again, I think in February or January, or probably see them again also in the regional tournament. Then the girls played them before us, obviously, but it was crazy because Kuiper this shows how close like the region is. The girls lost to Kuiper girls by 11, but they had 33 turnovers. Which is crazy, and they lost by 11.
Wow!
So like, if they have like 5 less turnovers, that the score is different.
Oh, significantly.
And that's with them playing Kuiper, who's currently the number 1 team in the region.
You said they lost by 11, right?
They lost by 11, yeah.
So I mean, you take away. I mean, how many turnovers?
33. So
33.
10. So yeah.
You finish with 28 turnovers. Just a complete different game.
Yeah, completely different game. Plus, Hannah had another double because she's a double machine. But yeah, I mean, literally like
certified dog.
Girls are right there. I mean, it's crazy. Like I know that they're going to take that, learn from it, move on, and do better next time. So that's like super encouraging. Like that literally they were right there. Mm-hmm. And then for our last game, we traveled up to Moody on Tuesday.
Tuesday.
And then man, tough game. We lost by 2 at the buzzer.
Yeah.
And it's funny. This is I was talking to Mrs. Iverson, who her husband, Coach Iverson, coached the men's team here for 13 years. And he always talks about one game when Emmaus alumni legend, men's basketball legend, Justin Smith missed a shot at the buzzer up there. I missed a shot at the buzzer up there. And then we missed a shot at the buzzer up there. And so it's like, man, it's just crazy. Like, it's hard. Especially makes those trips longer. I think it makes those trips longer when you lose by so close, when we should have won that game.
Yeah.
We 100% should have won that game. We just couldn't quite play a complete game. And yeah, losing by 2 stinks up there. But like I said, again, like the girls had a lot of promise, like with how they performed and what the final score was. And, we did play pretty bad.
Yeah.
Because we had beaten them by 7, like 2.5 weeks ago. We lost 2 up there. So, unfortunate. Losses hurt no matter what. Obviously some sting more than others, but I mean, it is what it is. Like,
yeah, and I'm honestly thankful for, like, this has to be tough for you. I guess briefing everyone about it. You're giving us a good insight of the men's team, and also a decent insight from the women's team too. And we'll get more from that from Sharon later. But it's a heartbreak. It's a heartbreaking thing to go up against a complete new program in Kuiper. If you guys don't know, like, if you've been in the Christian athletic circles for a while, especially with NCCAA or the MCCC, Kuiper's name might not be known to you. You might know Manhattan, Faith, Calvary, Maranatha, Grace. But Kuiper has completely transformed their basketball program, at least.
Yep, this is the first year they've had it back after they had about 12, 15 years of not having a team. The legendary Coach Bailey, shout out Coach Bailey for listening to the podcast. He jumped over to Kuiper to kind of rebuild what he build their basketball program, build their athletic program, and kind of do it the right way. And so it's been cool to see,
it's been really cool
success. Like, I mean,
in 1 year,
he was there last year. They didn't have a team. They didn't have an official season. And then this is their official season. He brought in 46 guys, which is crazy. So like, it's just really cool to see, more better competition and coming into especially our region. Cause it's going to be fun for these next few years.
And it's tough that you're like, you go away for the men's team, you leave and you're like, we didn't play a complete game. I guess you could say the same for the women's team with the turnovers, but knowing that you could be in it, and honestly, not really knowing. Like, if you don't play a complete game, you don't really know where you stand against them. So it's like
the what if, I think, but like not,
It's not just a loss, but it's like, do we match up against them? Can we match up against them? And you don't know. If your defense isn't there, your offense isn't there, possession, ball isn't there. Like, all of that, like you said, the completeness of how your team is playing against one another. And like you see Faith playing against Kuiper the day before, and they played pretty well.
They play. So, yeah, they're super competitive. They're so, like, their biggest thing is they just, they do the little things right.
Yeah.
And they're so gritty, and like, honestly, at our level, like, grit goes a long ways for talent. But yeah, I mean, like, it was a good. I mean, Tuesday was fine. I mean, it was a chippy game for sure. There was a lot of back and forth, and
which is sad, but it's part of the game too.
It is part of the game, but it is what it is. But
it doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be like in part of the game in a negative way. Like, there can
be good chippiness if it's controlled. That's the biggest thing, is like, if you can keep it from going across that line.
Yeah.
Once it goes across that line, then it becomes an issue. But if you can, do it, I guess, in the right way, like, there's not really an issue. But yeah, once you step across that,
there's a lot of right ways to do it. There's ways of, like, you can be competitive against one another, and like, if you're like, I think of like the soccer pitch, being around the soccer team for many years, and you're going at it, fighting for the ball, and you both go down. Maybe someone gets fouled or no one gets fouled. You hop right up and. You're like, oh, that was nice,
or high five each other,
or you're like, oh, I'll get you next time, you bum, like, I mean, just like some like nice stuff, but like being able to be friendly to each other before, after, and during the game,
being competitive against one another, but also still having that, like you said, that friendliness, or like that being together.
Apart, I think of an example on like one far end of the spectrum, of just kind of like goofing off a little bit, not necessarily like not being competitive, but I think of Nathan Braun. Shout out to Nathan Braun. He was a student here at Emmaus, graduated recently, and the soccer team did not have a lot of players. So they asked a lot of guys would you be able just to be a body for practice and come on trips? And he was one of those people, but he stuck with the team for I think 2 years it was.
Yeah.
But when he would play, he didn't play a lot, but when they put him in towards the end of the games just to rest some of the starters for the next game, if either they're ahead or losing, most of the time they're losing. That's not the picture what it is today. That's what it was prior.
Previously.
But
not anymore.
But when he would go in, he would goof off with the guys who would be defending him, and
he'd say like, "Oh, I remember." Yeah. He'd say some funny things.
So is it? I kind of think about some of that's obviously an example of one far end of the spectrum of just having a fun time out there and enjoying the sport, enjoying running around, being part of a team. But then you also have the other end where it's like this sport is something you've played forever: basketball, soccer, volleyball, cross country, whatever it might have been. And it's important for you. Run forever. It's important to you, and you want to compete. You want to be competitive. You want to win, right? But at the end of the day, we got to remember
that's who we're representing.
And it's not the crest on you on the back.
It's not this. I mean, it is this. But it's ultimately
It's exactly. It's your relationship with Jesus, and having that testimony on the field and knowing what you say. Yeah. And the thing is, I'm a hothead myself. And I know when I see red, there's some things that I might say, do, or think that I definitely regret later. And I think we touched base on this a little bit last podcast of having that maturity as a player.
Yeah,
goes such a long way.
The maturity of how you react to things, because we always say the saying is athletics builds character.
Yeah,
that's not true. It reveals character, reveals who you are.
And I like that. I like that quote.
And it's you need to. As a mature Christian, obviously, sometimes you get a lot of times you get frustrated. Everyone gets frustrated anywhere they are in life, but it's how you react and how you respond to that is, how you move on and keep going forward in the right direction.
Yeah. And those players who have that maturity of either to hold back what they're saying or to be able to correct themselves.
Yes.
All tend to do a lot of great things and, really have set themselves up for success in life. And not saying to people who don't have success or don't do great things, but that those players who have that maturity definitely stand out more.
It's the thing we say on our team. We're all right, you have 20 minutes to think about this.
Yeah.
And then after that, we're done, we're moving on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So definitely a tough weekend for the Eagles athletics. And I think especially after the Kuiper game, there's a lot of growth within the men's team and maybe something, and you can speak more about it than me, but I can see that a lot of that growth, you guys talked a lot as a team after that game and a lot of conviction probably within that locker room. And I'm looking forward to see.
What do we do to not do this again?
I'm not just looking forward to see what you guys do on the court, but what happens off the court within character and maturity of players. And it's going to be awesome.
I'm excited.
So,
definitely.
I look forward to see. It's now that we're a part of staff, I feel like I get the maybe it's something that other staff members or professors or faculty
experienced when we were students.
Yeah, that they looked forward to seeing us grow up, to see us mature throughout their 4 years, or see where we go.
Exactly. I always remember talking to our director of finances, Laura Rasmussen, and she would always say her favorite thing would be seeing the students walk across the stage at graduation and being I've seen how much the Lord has changed you and the growth you've had from your freshman year.
Yeah.
And I think that is just like you said, that's just the greatest thing of seeing, where you started to where you finished, where you're continuing going on, and just seeing that growth is it's amazing.
And that's something that you can do here at Emmaus because it's a community, it's a family here. People know each other. They want that relationships. And to that point, I look forward to seeing these players from all the athletic programs that we have here.
Yes.
Come their senior year. I've already been through one circuit. Oh, it's crazy to think about that, Mac. How many circuits have you been through? I was a student here for 4 years, and this is my 4th year of someone on staff. It's insane to me to think that the seniors here graduating, I saw them come in as freshmen, and I was not students with them. Oh, my goodness, man. I feel so
That was
old.
me 3 years ago.
I feel so old right now. But it's cool to see like where they've came from.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm looking to see that through the athletic program, but just as a students here at UMass, and knowing the people here, knowing the students, having relationships with them, and hopefully to grow some mentorship or discipleship relationships with them as well, and be a part of that walk, part of that growth within their life. So with all that said, we're going to jump to Sharon's interview. Everyone, thanks for listening. I know I'm leaving your favorite part of the show,
Shane.
but also, guys, come on.
We need names.
We need names, please. I'll leave them here for Sharon to see and to meet for the first time. But yeah, we need names, please. So at this time, Matt, I will we'll transition to you and Sharon, and hopefully it's a good interview. But thank you, everyone.
And welcome back. And here we are joined with my sister, aka third-year head coach Sharon Tomlinson of the Emmaus Eagles women's basketball team. Coach T, the real Coach T. Thanks for joining.
Thank you. I'm excited to be back on.
Excited to have you. Yeah, it's been fun this season basketball wise. This is your third year, which is like, crazy. That's already year 3 of head coach. Yes. And just seeing like, so far this year, currently we're sitting at 1-6 so far. We have a game on Saturday, which is your last game of the semester, which is crazy. Mm-hmm. Looking forward to that game and then to next semester. Kind of tell me about your thoughts so far going in this semester. So far, we have 4 seniors on the team. We have Abrel, who's back after not playing for a couple of years with her knee injury and then having a kid with her husband, Joel. And then Maddie coming back from her ACL injury last year. So, yeah, tell me about the season so far.
Yeah. So coming into this year, we didn't necessarily set expectations right away just because, like you said, it was, trying to see, okay, how is Abril going to be able to play which semester? Is Maddie going to be back at full capacity? Some of those, like, not quite sure what the roster was going to be like. We had a couple of signings that didn't pan out, things like that. And so coming in, it was just, let's get in shape. Let's make sure our culture is taken care of. And then the games will happen and we'll see where we're at. And we came out that first weekend and I was so excited with how we played. The rest of the
against
semester,
a pretty tough team that's had some pretty. They made it to national. They won regionals last year. Made it to 2 years ago. Made it to nationals. Yeah. So like they've had success with their long tenure head coach, and to see we're right there with them the whole both games, and it's that was really encouraging.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing this year has been. It's been really encouraging just because we've had a couple lopsided games, but overall. We had a 6-point loss, an 11-point loss, a 9-point loss, to good teams. And so to be able to stick with them and we know we're putting ourselves in positions to succeed. And that's a lot of these games. We go into it just saying hey, let's give ourselves a shot. Let's make sure that it's within reach in the fourth quarter.
Yes.
And then, the last 2 minutes of the game, we see what we can do with it. And the girls have done a really good job of doing that. They've done a great job of adjusting. We give them adjustments day to day and they listen to us and they implement those really well. And so, just the overall tightness of this group, how much they love each other. And we've gone through a lot this year outside of basketball.
That's true. Yes.
So to be able to stick together, to be able to love each other, and to support each other through it. And then, challenge these higher level teams as well, has been really cool to see.
It's really cool. Like you said, it's been really cool to see, kind of like what Shane and I were talking about in the first side of the podcast, the close loss against Trinity, the 6-point loss to Maranatha, and the 11-point loss to Kuiper. But with that, there's fixable things. There's things that can be easily fixed.
Yes. That
would turn the tide of that score. That would switch, who wins and who loses. Mm-hmm. And I know, throughout the years, we've always talked about those. That's the most aggravating thing of we're right there, and the girls are right there. Like you said, with having Kuiper regional game, Maranatha regional game, Trinity another NCCAA game. It's just so encouraging to see where we've come from with last year's season, the growth from that with this group that you have, and it's just right there, just fix up a few things, and instead of 1-6, we're 4-3 or something like that. So I think easily. It's so cool seeing that, and obviously with this team you have. Anna, this is her 4th year playing for Emmaus. This is Hannah's 3rd year playing for Emmaus, plus her time at FLBC. This is Brooke's third year playing at Emmaus. So you have some veteran leadership on the team. And then you have like, Erin McKenna, who has she has a very high ceiling, hasn't played for over a year because she was at a community college just taking classes, and now she's here. But like, there's a lot of great things going on. Sure. And it's just really cool to see, like, like I said, like from where we were last year to where we were this year, and just like how do you think we can use that momentum forward right into next semester? Because the last game of the semester is on Saturday, and then looking into conference play, which anything can happen in conference, because kind of I always feel like with women's basketball, it's kind of, it goes like this in waves of where everything's at. So like, how are we going to take the momentum going into next semester, and then even beyond that with the opportunity that's there for all our recruits out there with graduating 4 seniors?
Yeah, definitely. So going off what you said, obviously you mentioned most of the team and how much they've improved, how long they've been around. We have a lot of experience on the team this year, and even Jenna and Maddie, I want to shout them out too, because Maddie put in the work to even be able to be back this quickly and to be back at a good capacity, and she's doing everything that we want her to. And Jenna,
I think Jenna's improved a lot from last year.
She watched film all summer, and she came back a much better basketball player. So she's put in the work as well, and I'm really excited for both of them to have those two and Erin be kind of the returning core group for next year. That puts us in a really great position to continue building off of what we have. So as far as conference goes, I think having the Kuiper game so recently, I think that's kind of potentially a turning point in our season, just to see that we can play so well with, again, they are definitely a top team in our region, and they're very deserving of those votes. I could see them, if they continue playing the way they have been, to be ranked here soon. And so to be able to play with them with that many mistakes, like, we know that we can play better than that. We have a very clear, like, this is what we need to do, and that gives me a lot of hope. Just like, it doesn't feel hopeless. It's like,
yes, and it's nice that those things are achievable. It's not like, make more shots. No, it's just like, clean up this area, clean up that area, and we're golden.
Exactly. So that's really exciting. We're hoping we can go into this semester break with a win, but also a clean win, and like play well within that, just to give us momentum going into the conference. And in my opinion, on the women's side this year, like, the conference is a lot more even than it has been. The top teams are still going to be the top teams. They're still going to be challenging, but it's not out of anyone's reach. And so it really is a wide open season for anyone to come out.
And that's always fun, like going into the conference tournament, like anyone can win, and like
for sure
anyone can win, rather than like, okay, there's the powerhouse here that's just gonna sweep the floor, but really anyone can win. As
much as I loved winning the conference championships as a player, it sucked to lose my senior year, but it was a lot of fun to have a close game and have it be intense and like,
I mean, it got hard, like, sophomore year, junior year, when, I mean, you guys were beating teams like in the conference by 50 and 60 points. And it was like, whoa, 30-point game. Like, wow, close. But And so, now seeing on the other side of it, like, it's anyone's game.
For sure.
Yeah. So no, super, super excited for the game on Saturday against FOBC. And then just kind of seeing next semester, we're super sad that this will be Abrel's last game. It's crazy. Speaking of Abrel, how 2 years off, came in and started schooling people left and right.
Dominating. Everyone needs to come to our home game on Saturday. We're going to celebrate her senior night with the rest of the seniors next semester, but this is her last game playing as an Emmaus Eagle. So everyone come out and support Abrel, please, and the rest of the team. But
yes, please do that. But we're excited for that. So losing Abrel that semester, as she's done with school, but potentially might have a couple more girls might be joining the team, which we're super excited about.
We've been talking, so we're
which would be awesome. But I think it's been fun just to see, the year, your first year, your second year, now going into your third year, and just, the excitement that's on the team, kind of like, from where the culture was to, like, with last year, like, last year was hard. Last year was tough. Last year stank. But the girls loved each other so much. They were there for each other. They uplifted each other. I mean, they stuck it out. And just they came back to this year because they were excited about the growth. And I think that just speaks volumes for the girls that are on this team, the girls that have come in, the girls that are going to come in, and just build off of that. And that's just that's something like, you just don't see that nowadays. And just seeing, like, Shane and I always talk about, the sisterhood that volleyball has or cross country has or that the women's basketball team has. And it's true. It is so true just how much they uplift each other. They're there for one another. They're each other's biggest fans. Yes, it stinks when you lose. We all know that. But, you know, they come back the next day and get better. And just seeing, like, hearing about from the Kuiper game on Saturday to the effort on practice on Monday and yesterday, you know, that's encouraging to see, like, that growth and that jump forward.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, it's kind of a turning point. I'm hoping I was really encouraged to see the girls come together through a really tough practice on Monday. And then yesterday.
Which you need those every now and then.
Yeah, for sure. And then Tuesday, we had a little bit more fun. We made it more competitive. We did a lot of kind of games, or made the drills more, games and competitions and stuff, and got a really good workout in. And so I'm hoping that, we can kind of carry that momentum. And it's just great to see them come together and not tear each other apart when we're losing games that are close like that. So
yes, we're super thankful for that. For the, just not even where women's basketball's at, but where Emmaus Athletics is at, you know, as your other part of your job as being assistant athletic director, just seeing, you know, the camaraderie in athletics, you know, the support in athletics, you know, like the love that, you know, the team, like in the past, you know, we might have had, like when we played back in the day, you know, it was always like group A, group B, but like just how involved the student body is, you know, our student athletes are in the student body, a part of everything. It's just been so cool to see that, and how much, you know, the support from the students to our student athletes has just been super encouraging and super great to see that.
Yeah, it's cool seeing too, like, the general student body come around, and like, I've never had this before, but this year's students that I haven't really talked to are coming up to me and saying like, good luck tonight and things like that. And like, again, I haven't had that before as a student or a player.
Thanks. Yeah,
I'm like,
you.
wow. But also, the support within the athletics department, and we talk about that a lot, and we want to be unified as a department as well. And so like, seeing the men's basketball team be ball runners for soccer, and seeing some of the cross country guys doing live stats for basketball, and just like, overall how much support all of the student athletes have for each other. It makes it a really unique and an exciting time to be an Emmaus Eagle.
It really does.
And you're not going to see that at all the, like every single school. And so to be able to have that much support within athletics, but also within the student body is really cool too.
It really is. And we're just really, really excited for the finishing up of this semester and going into next semester, as we, you know, see these, especially these 4 seniors that as they finish their career as an Emmaus Eagle and graduate and move on. So no, we're really excited. And Coach T, we're thankful for you on this podcast, and we're excited for the rest of the season. Go Eagles, and see you guys on Saturday as for the women's last game of the semester, and then keep an eye out for the schedule for next semester. But thanks for being a part of this episode. Thanks for joining our interview with Coach T, and it's a great day to be an Eagle.
It's a great day to be an Eagle.